All right, all right. Good morning. Ivan Bob. Thank you for the subscription. Welcome to the Methodical Crew. You the man. So we just now trading into a bullish fair value gap here. We've not yet ran the Asia high or the Asia low on the Nasdaq. The ES did run the Asia low already, I believe. Yeah. So I'm expecting Nasdaq to run the Asia low here, and then we'll be looking for some sort of shift in the other direction. ES basing below the VWAP. And Nasdaq is currently above the VWAP. I don't quite know why the VWAP in here is showing a little higher, but it is. Don't know why. But we want to see these lows ran first here. Before we decide to do anything. Run the lows, and we'll go from there. At least that's the idea. So we got the VWAP on my other chart at 853. I don't know why the VWAP here is showing at 861. We'll manually put it on here. Then I'll try to take a look and see if there's a reason why. Did this one switch to something different or what? Why is it showing in the wrong spot? Let's check it. Daily, let's turn it off, turn it back on. Yeah, I don't know why that is. Strange. It was in the exact same spot yesterday as the VWAP on Tradeovate. That's the reason why I stopped using the VWAP on Quantower, because it never showed in the right spot. So I don't know. Good morning, Nick. So anyways, I'm expecting the Asia lows to be taken. So I'm not going to entertain this move up. Just trying to make sure I'm not overlooking anything here. So ES actually took the Asia high and the Asia low. Yeah, sure did. The Nasdaq has not taken either. That puts us in a tough situation. I want to see it take this Asia low, and then we could be pretty confident in a pushback up to the Asia high here. So I don't know. That looks like, I don't know why I always, it's so weird when you're trying to do it the other direction. It's, yeah, anyways. So that's a deep pullback there on that big leg down. It's a little deeper than 786. 47.81, 70.68 is the low. Yeah. But for Asia, I count 7 p.m. to midnight Eastern time. So if we mark out the 7 p.m. to midnight. Oh, actually, the ES has not taken the low, has it? $47.70. Am I looking at that right? Got to zoom in on here a little bit. $47.70. So ES actually has not ran the low. I have it 47.70. I was looking at it wrong. Somewhere in that area. So they've taken the high, but not the low. It took the high right at midnight. 12:05, 12:03. But the Nasdaq did not take the Asia high at all. I don't know. Kind of a strange setup this morning. Karthik, good morning. Persia, good morning. DeBizzle, good morning. Yeah, I count midnight as the Asia high. The high before midnight, 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. to midnight, DeBizzle. So at midnight, we were at 47.81, and we just one ticked it at 12:05. So you could certainly look at it either way since it was so close to midnight there. But I always mark it out 7 p.m. to midnight. So it does give me an idea that maybe this thing is going to move down. Oh. I got to put in a stop. Thinking maybe we move down quickly at open. We'll see here. I suppose it could push back up here before. You know what? I may take this off. I don't like not having my. Let's take it off. Could run quickly into the Asia low here, but we also could. Reason I took it off is because we could pop, since NASDAQ did not take these highs. We could pop up here, take these highs, and then take the low. Just because we're closest to the low doesn't mean anything. So we'll kind of see what happens here at open. Let's see. Oh, 47.68. Yeah, it's got a ways to go down there. Well, not a ways to go, but you get what I mean. In comparison to the Nasdaq, there's a decent little move there. So, all right, here we go. I guess this probably would have worked, but I don't know. I just thought we could pop here since we didn't take out the highs, which is all right. So pushing below that VWAP there on the Nasdaq. There we go. One ticked it double bottom there, but I would imagine it should push through there. So we'll see if we get some sort of shift to the upside here. We shall see. Guess we could have got 10 quick points out of that. Well, 7. But we chackened out. We chackened out. So kind of bouncing back above the VWAP here on the NAS. I think if we push back up to that 70 level there, we can probably, excuse me, be pretty confident that we run the 85 from there. So the idea here is kind of, I want to get above that swing high there. If we get above that swing high there, then we can feel pretty confident that we push into the Asia highs. But ideally, we would like to see this have a clean run of this area first. You would imagine it would take these lows here. You would think, but it doesn't have to. This is like a 786 pullback there. We are in a bullish 15-minute fair value gap. That's what I have marked out right here. So we don't want to just blindly get long once we run these lows. We kind of want to wait for confirmation there. And since Asia lows have not been ran on the ES there, we could still continue lower. Push back down to the 72.50 there on the ES. Would be shocked if it doesn't at least get below this here. Let's just see what it does. What does it want to give us? Oh, you think ES wants the does the ES want to push on down here, or is this thing going to pop back up? Funny thing is, I don't know. You'd think it still takes the low here, but I don't know. Charles Martin went long at VWAP. Let's see, Charles. Nice little long so far. Paying off for a few points. There we go. Approaching that pivot there at 64. Yes, it's getting above the VWAP there. So this is kind of what I was back testing, which we didn't take this trade here, but this little 786 pullback here. I didn't take it this time because I thought for sure we run these lows. But you can see very low risk on these 786 pullbacks, right? 2 handles for 7 handles in profit. So the R to R on these 786 pullbacks is nice. The risk very low, especially on the 15-second chart. Did you take profit there, Charles? Good morning, GX. I mean, this happens over and over and over. The only thing is, I'm expecting this to be ran, so I'm going to bypass these. I mean, may not. I mean, I guess we could just take it. And if it stops us, it stops us, right? Oh, we didn't get tagged in there. I guess I should have marked it in. No, Lido. There's no PDT on futures. That sucks. Didn't get tagged in there. Holding, don't mind some heat. Looking for highs. Gotcha. Water fisting made $10. Going to sleep. $10. That's all we need. $10. That's it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get something going here. Really want to run these Asian lows clean. I want to run the Asian lows clean here. Then I could be more confident in a push up. That's kind of what I want to see there. I really want the ES to run the lows too, but we may not get that, right? May not get the ES to run the lows there. Doesn't have to, obviously, but hold up there at the VWAP so far, kind of basing right above it. So we had one 786 pullback that paid. We have a second 786 pullback that's about to pay. Right. One more tick right there. So it'd be 2 for 2 on the 786 pullbacks there if you took them. Something I'm starting to look at on the 15 second. I've noticed it over the last few days. I just haven't kind of put it to work there. I would have taken this, but like I said, I'm expecting we're going to take those lows, but maybe we don't. We might not. We might not do it. If we push above 70 here, then we kind of push above a bearish fair value gap there. If we do that, then I'm going to go ahead and enter long on that. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. 63. So that's closing out that gap there. So I'm going to wait for a little pullback here. Good morning, Alan. Yeah, I may just go ahead and I'm going to look for a little pullback, and then I'll take the entry long here. May go ahead and just toss one in here. We get a pullback here, we'll add. Now, I'm thinking that we just violated this on the 3-minute chart the only fair value gap in this leg down. So once we violate that PD array there, then it gives me pretty well confidence that we should push into this area. Oh, Diviso closed his long. Hey, you were in long at least though, right? That's all that matters. I'm kind of shocked that this did not take the Asia low, but like I said, it didn't have to. So yes, only 2 points off the high here. Nasdaq lagging in some respects. It's the only thing is it didn't take the Asia low. If this took this by 1 tick, then I would have expected this move for sure. That's why I was hesitant on these entries here and I didn't take them. So, and what we might do here is we may take a little scalpy on this way up here. We'll see here. I'm trying to take that stupid price off there. Why is that? What's going on there? I don't remember how to take that off. I'm trying to remember how. I don't know. All right, so we'll add on this pullback here. Probably should have waited for the pullback anyway to get in, but we did not. Anybody know how to take these numbers off here? I have no idea. I accidentally clicked. Oh, I got to click on that, don't I? There it is. Time for Asia low. I know, Aaron. I don't want it to run the lows now. I'm taking the long. Bot NQ 850, 850. Buy side. Oh, you bought it. Nice. This is why I always try to be patient on my entries. I didn't this morning, clearly. So we want to see the swing low here kind of hold if we're going to push up here for the highs. give a little pop here. Just get us out of a couple of these contracts. We're just looking for scalps on those. Well, we may as well give this contract some room now. No point in getting stopped out on it. See, we get just a little bounce here off the VWAP. Yes, through the VWAP there, so might not even get any kind of reaction here. All right, now it's doing what we expected it to do, but it trapped us now, so we may hit the daily loss limit here if this thing doesn't bounce soon. Oh, thanks, Sam. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is why it's important to follow your plan, right? If the idea was for me to wait for the Asia low to be taken, but then this got me. It disrespected that 3-minute fair value gap, which was the only fair value gap in that area. And I don't really have the room here. I probably just need to eat this loss. Because the ES has a ways to go here on the lows. So getting a little pop back up here. Like I said, I might should just cover this for a loss. Ultimately, I do think it goes up, but this could dig much lower than where we're at right now if it wants to. Certainly could dig much lower than this. And that just shows the importance of kind of waiting for your setup there. No FOMO. Shouldn't be worrying about missing out. So I kind of bought up here thinking, we'll just run the highs. Obviously, it didn't do that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cover it there for the loss. And then we'll just look for our next setup and then go from there. Pro Persia lost 1K. That sucks. Well, we should have just followed our plan. Our plan was for it to sweep the lows first and then kind of go for the highs. And this is what it did yesterday, right? But it was different. The Nasdaq had ran the lows, but the Nasdaq had ran the highs, or vice versa, and the ES had not. So sometimes you just got to accept your loss and just move on. I try to just size into it here, which is probably dumb, right? We added 1, 2, 3, 4. We were just too deep in contracts here. And so on the move down, if I had just stuck to the 1 or 2, then we can kind of sustain this. Even if it pops back up here, it's still, not sticking to my plan there. I wanted to just kind of. So we'll see what happens now. So you want to wait some kind of shift in structure here if you get it. The only issue there, I think this thing's going to continue down, if I'm being honest. I think we continue down. ES just has too much room kind of to the downside there. ES at the VWAP there. And we might get called in both directions. We're not going to give it a whole lot of room here if it starts to run. Oh, it swept the Asia low. Well, it depends on what you would identify as the Asia low to Bizzle. This is the Asia low to me. The low before midnight. I mean, unless I'm looking at it wrong. I guess I am. Why am I marking that low out? I guess I didn't go back far enough in time. Is that right? I guess I didn't. I don't know. I must have been half asleep when I was marking out these levels. I don't know why I marked. I guess I must have been half asleep when I marked these out. Why do I have that marked as the Asia low? Should be from 7 p.m. I guess I didn't even look at it. I just assumed that was the low because this pullback. You're right, though. That's not the Asia low. All right, well, that makes a big difference then. I mean, it doesn't have to be the Asia low. It can just be any important low, whatever. I mean, that is the most recent swing. Here we go. We're loading up. Short at the VWAP. Into the VWAP, guys. What we're not supposed to do. I don't know what I was drunk when I put those levels on there. I don't know what I was doing. I have no idea. All right, let's see what happens here. You have it at 8:15. Yeah, somewhere down there. A decent ways away. We actually got a pretty wide range this morning. Let's just see what we get. Let's just see what we get. Not seeing it too clean this morning, though. That's for sure. Making a couple of mental errors there. How's it going, Paul? How's it going? Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird what's going on with it there. Maybe we should have stayed in our long there. It's always easy to say after the fact, right? So we did sweep that low there. So got to kind of get above that 77 area. It'll be awfully close to the highs then. He was long and almost got wrecked when it came back down, but held and just got out for break even. Nice. Well, it could go either way here. That's the problem. I don't really have. I mean, my sense is maybe it goes to the highs now, but obviously we thought that earlier. Probably just going to switch over to kind of scalp mode here. We'll put this one at the swing, but feels bad because we covered down here. Really, no more drawdown. That we had already taken the drawdown and the little pushback up. But my thought process was this thing could move lower if it wanted to, and it certainly could. Trying to move that VWAP up a little bit there. Yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes you see it wrong, sometimes you see it right. We seeing it wrong so far. So I'm going to try to take another little scalp here. Just scalp away. So watching the ES because it's pushing towards the highs here. I may kill it once if the ES eclipses the highs. Yeah, I didn't wait on the pullback. That's what got me. Some days you're the hammer, some days you're the nail. We appear to be the nail today. So kind of rejecting the pivot here. Pivot point's actually at 64. Might get stopped here. Should probably move the stop a little lower to that swing. That's the thing. When the market doesn't take the Asia high or the Asia low, it makes it difficult to read, right? It becomes a difficult read at that point. Goes against kind of my favorite setups there. So bouncing off the VWAP there, let's see if we head back up now. Get back above the pivot point there. You're not taking another trade until you sweep the last swing it made. Yeah, probably smart. We may hit our loss limit here this morning. We'll see. It's like we've bought every top, and we've sold every bottom, and that's the opposite of what you want to be doing. Make $200. Nice. Good job. Let me take those lines off there. I don't mind the entries and exits. I don't want the lines on there. To the trading zone color. I don't know how to take that line off there. I guess it's not that. Okay, now it took it off. I guess it's not that big a deal. You got chopped up now? Yeah, me too. Welcome to the El Chopped Up Club. Yeah, it's looking a little stronger here than the NAS. I'd like to see us hold the VWAP here. If we lose the VWAP, that will be kind of worrisome. Let's see what happens. Charles back long 55. Charles living on the edge like me. Living on the edge. It's kind of wedged between the VWAP and the pivot here. We're going to jump in for another scalper here. Probably should have taken it off the VWAP, would have been the most logical. Spec Ops, remember the candlesticks are manipulated to incite fear. Buying tops and selling bottoms will happen when you rely solely on looking at candlesticks. Oh, thanks. Thank you, Spec Ops. We appreciate the suggestion. I do have volume pulled up. It's just off the screen. But I'm not really using that for buy and sell. This is this morning, honestly, I just kind of clicking buttons. I a little frustrated with my first trade there. So it's all right. Everything will be just fine. There we go, out of that one. So we just got the one contract left. Yeah, he should be out there, Charles. Now we'll go ahead and trail this stop up a little bit. I'll just put it right there. Still think we push up here. Volume popping in here pretty strong, pretty strong. Tough morning, tough morning. Yeah. I know, Spec Ops. It's fine. It's one of those days. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. So, thing is, just trying to scout my way back out of it. We'll be okay. Get a few high frequency scalps in, and we'll be just fine. No panic. No panic. You know, that's the thing. Like, I held these trades, right? And this is kind of what happens with it sometimes. You're like, all right, this thing could trade into the 40s. You take it off, which actually we're pretty close to the 40s already, low 40s. And then it just reverses. So had I just held, right? You can always say that. Well, if I just held, then we would probably be back to our break-even position at this point. But we didn't. JX long 64. Rip it on up here. Give us a few points. Let's hope you get that JX. Let's see, 912. Could be. The only problem is we are trading kind of up into an order block there on the 3-minute chart. We have to kind of get through that. Get above that 77, 78 area there. We should be able to go. That's kind of the question there. Let's go on ahead and rip it. Why not? Let's rip it. Got to hold the pivot here. If we don't hold the pivot, we're going to get stopped out, and then we'll have to look for another entry. There we go. Stopped out. It's fine. Oh, you traded. That's why I just stick with the one ticker. One. I got to get used to this thing. Don't know why it's different. So I may take a 786 stab here. So we'll just take some scalps here and see what we get. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can see. There we go. One trade at a time. That's all we can do. FOMC, it was all right, Alan. We were up like $1,200 on the funded yesterday, and I think we ended up a couple $100 on this account, which we've given it back. We've given it back this morning. We did all right though. Went all right, though. We didn't lose money, so that's all that matters, right? We did not lose monies. Getting back above the pivot point here. So normally on these 786 pullbacks, I would kind of target the swing, right, on the fib level. If you're fibbing this leg, you're kind of targeting the swings. Now we're going to be in the scalp mode. I haven't done anything on the cash. JX, I actually put the cash account away until the new year here. So it's just at $3,000 still. I haven't taken any trades on it in the last week. Just because the probability of it wasn't like a high probability on the setups here at the end of the year. So just decided to put it away till the end of the year. But you can say it's still here. I just haven't traded it. Yeah, I tried to get a pretty big trade there, Alan, on the news, but I was late pressing the button. I was trying to make like $4,000 on it, but oh, woof. Sorry, I had to sneeze. I had to sneeze. This is going to be my first. I think I jinxed myself because I said in New York yesterday, I said, I don't think I've had a losing London session in a few weeks. I jinxed myself. We jinxed ourselves. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, JX. The idea is to get that account to pay out there and get all those accounts to pay out. We have 26 funded accounts right now. Still working on 7 more or 8 more, but this is one of the ones we're working on. But I don't trade the funded accounts during London for this reason because I'm typically a little more aggressive during London. A little more aggressive than I probably should be. ES kind of double top there at these 4780s. Just 3 ticks off the high there for the ES. Very interesting price action this morning. Not that it's bad. There's been volatility. Just for me, been kind of harder to read. Not really harder to read, I guess. That's the wrong word. We were expecting that 50 level to be taken out, which was kind of the most recent swing low there. And I was thinking to wait for a shift to the upside. I didn't do that. So we didn't do that. But we'll see what happens here. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. We do stream live 5 days a week. 3 a.m. Eastern, 9:15 a.m. Eastern for the New York. Price action is poo. Yeah, JX. Well, it's 100. So how I'm doing it is we're taking 1 trade on each. We'll be doing this today. So 5 packs of 4, copy trading them. 1 trade, we're either going to win 160 or lose 160. That's how we're doing it. Yesterday, I didn't take a trade on. I only took a trade on 4 of the funded accounts. 1 pack of 4 was up $200. Just didn't feel too comfortable. I didn't want to put them at risk for the FOMC day there. Thank you, JX. Thank you. Thank you. But today we'll be taking trades on each pack. Yeah, copy trading on the Quan Tower. I'm going to take a little stab here. We still haven't broken this low, which we might break it now since I'm in, but small risk. That's okay. So retesting the VWAP here. ES off the VWAP a little bit. Coming up on the top of the hour. Testing the VWAP here. Let's see here. ES coming back into the VWAP. I'm going to take a little stab here. A little stab long for a bounce off the VWAP. Well, maybe we should have just took our few ticks there. ES at the VWAP now. See if it bounces off the VWAP there or not. Looks like a knot so far. Where are we going now? We're going to run towards the lows. I think the Bizzle set it down here at the 15 area. This is a ton of trades for the London session. I've taken way too many entries. It's fine, though. What we'll probably do is at New York Open, I'll take a few higher risk scalps on this account. Try to work it back to a reasonable level there. That's probably what we'll do. Get it to maybe down 1,000 and then feel okay about it for the day. Get it down only 1,000 and then we'll feel okay about it and put her away. Or we hit the daily loss limit. That's what it's there for, right? Ooh, coming up on the top of the hour here. Little double bottom here. Set a funeral service for them. The failed trades. Good idea. So ES losing the VWAP there. Or at least testing. Give me a real test here. All right, there we go. Top of the hour. Or are we going to switch over into sell mode here? Are you talking about New York? Probably 10 a.m. Well, 9:45, 10 a.m. After the first 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. I'll probably do like some 10-tick scalps with larger leverage. 3 or 4 minis. I'll probably take 3 or 4 of those at open tomorrow, or later this morning. Try to get maybe 1,000 back or something like that. We'll see. It's, I don't want to say it's easy. It only takes one to wreck you, right? But to get 10 ticks at the open is not that difficult. Not too difficult. Well, I do think I'm going to call it there, guys and gals. Don't want to dig the hole any deeper here. Down $2,000. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We just got to accept it and move on. Going to have sessions like that. I didn't trade my best. Didn't see it my best here. You could say, oh, well, if you would have just held this position, then we probably get out break even. Close to it. Small loss. But it is what it is. But I appreciate you guys watching. We will be back for the New York session, 9:15 a.m. Stop by. Join us for that. We'll see you guys then.